wild man.
Okay.
He just wanted to fuck shit up.
Fun. All right. How's everybody been?
Alive.
Alive is good,
Alive, yes.
I suppose.
I eked out with another 4.0 this semester. Woo!
Woo! Eked out.
I say eked. There was no eking.
Eked.
Okay.
Pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
not
good.
an overachiever.
No.
No. Totally not.
That would be crazy.
Totally crazy. All right. So Margaret, I know is going to be a bit late, so we'll probably start without her. We're just waiting on Jordan and Kristen right now, I guess.
Is she okay?
Yeah, I think she just has a lot going on, so she just texted me and let me know that she would be late.
Okay.
Yeah, but should be good.
Okay.
Have they started? Are you at the branches? Are you working at the actual branch again, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot done. Tomorrow I'm quote unquote sitting in on my replacements interviews.
Ah.
I will be hiding in the background so no one can see me, but Sam wants my opinion.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. I'm the one who wrote the requirements, like attributes that they need. So.
That makes sense.
No, they wanted Sam to do it. I did it.
Well, I mean, as long as you're good at your job, you should be able to write down what you do in your job, right?
Yeah, a lot of it's just like personality traits, which is the problem.
Oh.
Because it's like you need to be able to be like willing to get out into the community and make those connections and be the face.
And be the face.
You must be the face.
Exactly what I wouldn't want to do.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Being the face can be tough.
It is. It honestly is.
I'll be the face of a D&D party anytime, but leaving my home? Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah.
It just makes me think fondly of the days when I would do web design and stuff like freelance. Except for I didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or like enough to live on, you know. It's funny how that works.
Indeed.
Hey.
Hey.
All right. So, like I was telling them, Margaret is going to be about 20 or so minutes late. So, she said to start without her, but she'll be in. Okay. But starting off, make sure I have everything going. Yeah, I do. I got all my notes, I think. Okay. So last we left off, the party had found their way into the Koraska jungle, and after a couple days of not too much going on, had run into a hunting large purple worm. They managed to defeat the worm, although I believe at least one person got swallowed. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, Quintus
Yes,
got swallowed.
I had gotten spitten up at the end and turned to find myself staring at a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which was interesting.
That's right. And this was all, of course, in your quest, your first part of a long quest to. The first part being to find the ruins of Draconia and possibly find a broomstone crystal, which is the type of crystals that they use in the airships. Anyway, as the dust settles and the ooze continues to ooze out of the worm, Quintus, you come out of the now split in half monster, covered and seeing, like you said, a rather angry looking barbarian wreathed in black flames, and on the other side a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I'm gonna immediately just try to wipe them off.
Good call. As you come up to him, I mean, it smells. It is not a. It's somewhat a little bit of like an earthy smell, but at the same time, there's something extremely like acerbic and acidic to it, and it kind of hits you almost like vinegar.
Yes. So in the process
strong.
of trying to wipe him off, I'm gagging.
You're like,
I'll have to find the water source or something.
Well,
Was
you
not-
sure?
Yes, was not pleasant in there.
Smells like it.
Well, I mean, good job killing everything. Oh boy. Do you think there are more of those?
good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody.
Just looking over at everyone else like, "Moo?"
All of a sudden, tremors everywhere.
Tremors. You hear tremors start in 5 different directions. No.
And then the movie Tremors is on for some reason.
Kevin Bacon comes up in a early 80s pickup truck and and calls you Earl.
Hmm.
In any case, if you would like to find some water to clean off, because it is pretty viscous stuff, and it's definitely stuck to your clothes and inside your clothes and everywhere, and make a survival check to see if you can find water nearby.
Sure. 15.
15. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it is a jungle, so there's, everything's a little damp, so it can be a little hard, but you do hear this trickle of water nearby and find a small little stream coming through. If you tried for a bit, you could definitely splash enough water and kind of, get your elbows down in there.
Armor.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure prestidigitation would work, but I'm a cleric. I don't know about that shit.
I mean, if somebody wants to prestidigitate him clean, that's I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
So yes, I will begin to clean myself, because taking off the armor. This will be a little bit, but I am not going to walk around the rest of this jungle in this state.
So as you kind of walk into the jungle a little bit, a little bit off from the group, you can still hear and see them, but you suddenly feel this kind of magic effect take over as it kind of suddenly all falls to the ground, and you look back as Sirthis is standing there, kind of waves at you.
No, thank you. That is incredibly useful spell. I'll still end up just like washing off some things because it's in the armor at this point, but yeah.
It's everywhere. Like it's in your nose for sure.
That should have probably lessened the time quite a bit.
Yes, it'll be less time. Hey Margaret.
Hey.
You definitely weren't very late, so that was good.
I know, I have a smorgasbord set up beside me because I cut out lunch.
Ooh. Now I'm jealous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cheerios and carrots.
Very jealous. I do love some Cheerios, though. All right. We were just kind of launching from where we left off last time after defeating the purple worm, and Quintus was just trying to get all the kind of acidic goop off of him after being swallowed. So what would y'all like to do?
I guess just continue onward, right? Because Crom was leading the way last time.
Yeah. We can definitely do that. Crom, if you want to make a survival check? Yeah. I think you're muted.
Sorry, 17.
17. Okay. Yeah,
Nice.
you got a little turned around in the little battle that just happened, but you're quickly enough able to find some of the landmarks you're using to navigate, continuing east across the jungle to the Ashkeeper Peaks, and you can definitely find your way through. However, before you get going, I need to check on something. Oh, Google, just let me do it. All right. You had activated the aura on your sword, yes?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. So, well, they have digital dice on D&D Beyond now. Okay, so as the aura fades, as you've been standing here for a minute, or a few minutes actually, could you roll a d10?
A 1.
A 1, okay. As it fades, it seems to drain. That was a good roll. It drains just a little bit. It feels like of life out of you. You take one point of necrotic damage, and as it does, you see Riz nearby you, who had been kind of following you, kind of trailing along like a little sister or something, and she seems to have grown by at least a few inches. Like she looks taller, like no longer so much like a young gnome, but maybe a full size like adult gnome, but still in the same kind of girlish features and with kind of sunken cheeks and eyes, and the same kind of bedraggled rags as clothing. And as you kind of have that intake of breath from the damage you took, she looks at you and says, "Well, that was quite nice. We should do that again more." And seems a little creepy.
I'm gonna say, "Oh shit."
All right.
What happened?
So when I use this power with this weapon, it makes me feel bad afterwards, and I think that Riz is benefiting from the damage that I take from it, and she is getting bigger, and I'm a little worried.
That is upsetting on many levels, I think. Where did you acquire this is it the sword that gave you this aura?
Yeah, it was in something's head, like a baddie's head, like a demon skull or something.
Oh, we just we found it sticking out of a demon body.
Ah.
In a temple thing.
Yeah, in a dark temple.
In the dark. This isn't the lulz thing, is it?
Oh, we were kind of in that area. Huh. I don't know.
I mean, needless to say, maybe like if you don't need to use it, don't. If she's siphoning energy off from you, that is alarming.
Well, yeah, maybe if I don't use the aura, if I don't try to use the necrotic damage, maybe that'll help. I'll try that next time. We'll do science, right? Right.
Test. It's a control group. Okay. Okay. So we want to move on then through the jungle. Unless there's anything else anybody else wants to do.
I took some damage and I'm a little exhausted.
Yeah, does anybody need to take a short rest to spend some hit dice from?
Yeah, I'm a little beat and exhausted. Just a little exhausted. Like, if I had to put it on a scale, it would be like level 1 exhaustion.
Yeah, a scale of 1 to 5.
Yeah.
To 1. That too.
So, maybe if it's a safe area? Does anybody want to, like, look around and see if it's safe to take a break?
Sure, I could do a perception check.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, 14.
14. I mean, other than the giant corpse of a purple worm laying in the midst of this small clearing, it looks pretty safe.
Oh, I thought we had moved on a little bit from there.
Well, you hadn't quite. You had gotten ready to move on, but as the aura faded, Crom's thing happened, and I mean, you're not like right next to it. You cleaned up, and you're in the same vicinity though still. But it does honestly look fairly safe as any open area in the jungle could.
I mean, this place seems as safe as any other open area, I suppose. We'll need 1 or 2 on watch.
All right.
I can take middle watch.
Well, just a short rest, like an hour.
Yeah, it just has to be. If this is a short rest, we just have 1 or 2 people on watch if you want to.
Sure.
Yeah. Who wants to watch? Roland, you were saying you would?
Yeah, I can watch.
I was going
All
to
right,
say,
go ahead and roll. Yeah, both of you roll perception checks.
Non-nat 20.
Okay, what's the total?
20?
No, what's the total with your perception modifier?
That was.
Oh, that is. Oh, that's right. You don't have great perception.
No, I don't.
Okay. What about you, Circus? John, you there?
18.
18. There you are. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so you all settle down for a few, an hour's rest, kind of bandage up some wounds. I know that both Quintus and Crom had. Sorry, Sadie's barking at something. Sadie. You had both taken some damage, and so if you need to spend hit die to regain some, or if anybody wants to heal anybody up, this would be the time. Over the course of the hour, the two of you, Roland and Quintus, see a few small animals moving around. It's afternoon here, still pretty light out. You don't see anything too dangerous. At one point, you do feel a little bit of that same trembling again, but further off, and it doesn't seem to come nearer and kind of fades after a minute. As you are sitting there, kind of in this little bit of a clearing area, you do see quite a bit in the distance, still in a haze, just the beginning of what you assume in the east is the Ashkeeper Peaks rising out of the jungle plain. All right. But as the hour comes to a close, and anybody who wants to has taken care of their hit dice or things like that.
Yeah, I rolled some.
Okay. We good then?
Yep.
All right. You feel ready to move out. Continuing east once again. Over the you have a few hours of daylight left before. I'd say probably 4 or 5 hours of daylight left before it's the sun will be going down and it starts to get a little more active in the jungle, and you might want to bed down for the night. Over the course of that time, I'm assuming that same two people are going to use the same perception roll. So the same two people keeping out. You once again see an animal here. You hear the same apes or monkeys somewhere in the distance, kind of hooting and making noise. Quite a few birds, a lot of birds in this jungle. You see at least one more set, but are able to avoid them of the vines that seem to, when they're touched, wrap around and wrap up into the tree. Kind of like some type of carnivorous plant or something like that. But you manage not to get, trigger any of them yourselves. Around sundown, you find yourself, as the occasional clearing in the trees shows you, fairly near to the Ashkeeper Peaks. They're now rising above you, maybe only, as the sun's going down, probably only a couple miles off. But like I said, the sun is setting. What would you like to do?
I guess we should think about setting up camp for the night. I don't want to really be traveling through this jungle at night. I don't know.
All right. If everybody's on board, just the same as usual, set up Lehman's tiny hut and Casilda keeps watch.
Yep.
Okay. Setting up here. Oh, sorry. What was that? Setting up. It's mostly the same as usual. You haven't felt any of those tremors in a while. Roll perception check for Casilda. Kind of flying above.
Get my dice out. Let's see here. The fuck. $21.
Okay.
Hey.
It's a little cooler here, as while it is fairly flat here in the jungle, there are some hills, and it has slowly been getting higher in elevation as you get closer to the peaks. It seems like the sounds that are heard are a little bit different, and it seems like the animals might be a little different. It's still a good number of them, but you hear some type of distant roaring happening with a response roar that in a slightly different tone, but nothing too nearby. as the night goes on. As morning comes and you've all had your long rest, so you can all have a long rest. Please click it. You feel very refreshed. You think you've gotten most of the cuts and bruises, fairly bandaged up and poulticed or what have you. And you feel nice. A lot better than you did after being swallowed anyway, Quintus.
I'm sure.
Yes. But as you once again get going in the morning, it's not too long before the trees fairly quickly start to thin out and get shorter and smaller. The vines are no longer as prominent. You start seeing more kind of spread out ferns, and you can see further through the actual boughs of the trees. And you realize that you can no longer so much see the peaks that were in front of you as you're breathing a little bit harder, and you find you're going up a steeper slope, and you're now actually starting to ascend into the Ashkeeper Peaks. And just a little bit after you all realize this, you kind of break through what might be called the canopy of the larger forest here into a more sparse forest, and you can see quite a ways off, and you see that you're a good couple 100 feet above the forest floor at this point, kind of following small game trails and stuff up. Crom, could you make a perception check real quick?
Uh, 13.
13. Okay. Looking around as you're the one kind of guiding the party, you see as you come to this wider expanse in view, somewhere off to the party's left, which is north the way you're heading, it seems like more of the trees, even more than is kind of clear here, is cleared a little off to the north. Like there might be, almost like you can vaguely make out switchbacks of something going up the side of the mountain here. Continuing on, are we going, where are we? We're still heading into the mountains? Yes?
I believe so, if everybody's cool with it.
So everybody's cool.
What do you think?
Yes, mountains much better than jungle.
Mountains are good.
All right. So heading into the mountains, it's pretty obvious after not too long that you definitely need to kind of follow these small valleys that are going up between peaks. When you first got up out of the jungle, you were just kind of on the side of a mountain heading directly up. So you would either need to kind of veer left into one valley or pass between mountains, or to the right into another. That's going to be your main decision right now, heading into the mountains. So what would you like to do?
We go right. Is there a right direction?
Yeah, there is.
We
There's
go the
kind of
correct direction.
You go the correct direction.
Yes, the right one.
There is a direction a la derecha y a la izquierda, and you're not exactly sure what the right direction is. The large map that you had been provided with in Amman, the further you've gotten into the Wildmount areas off the coast, it seems like the less accurate it is. In fact, according to it, parts of the edge of the jungle here should be directly along the coast of a bay, and yet you don't see one. It looks like there's mountains in between you and there.
Okay, can I doodle over the map, or like be making the notes as we go?
Yes, you definitely can. just updating
Yeah.
your map.
Yeah.
But it seems, just based on what you're seeing and the parts of the map that you know are most likely correct, that you would probably want to head the northward. The north side is more along the lines of where you'll want to go.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
eventually you'll have to cross a river and things like that, and it's
Okay.
okay.
North.
So heading off to that route. Everybody north.
Yeah. Let's go.
Unless anybody objects. Heading out to your left, before too long, you come across what you had thought looked like it might be a switchbacking trail, which turns out to be a pretty good-sized trail. It's definitely more than a game trail, kind of winding its way across the mountain, back and forth through this small valley, going up into this, what looks like it's a high pass. As you get higher in it, the air gets a good bit cooler. As you know, you were in the jungle, even though it's technically winter in Exandria right now. It was still pretty warm in the jungle. As you were getting higher into the mountains, as you pass, first 1,000 feet in elevation, 2,000 feet in elevation above the jungle, it starts to get cool, like noticeably cooler. And as it does, it also gets a little bit drier. The animal noises that you had heard almost omnipresently around you in the jungle slowly start to fade into the background. There's still bird sounds and things like that, but not as many other animals, and it's a little bit more windy up here as there's fewer trees to block wind and things like that. Eventually, though, you come to the top of what you assume is the top of your first pass between these mountains, and at the kind of V where it comes together, these two very steep peaks, you look into a much shallower valley in front of you heading east, with a couple small streams that seem to be flowing down from the peaks and into a large pond, small lake with a larger creek or small river running out of it down through the valley to the east. It looks like this trail you've been following vaguely follows the river, kind of meanders a little bit, occasionally crosses it. And about you're at this point maybe around noon, maybe a little after, and far off down the valley you see a small trail of smoke rising from beyond a hill between the peaks. But assuming we want to continue on, heading through this valley, Crom, well, no, not Crom. How about, let's have somebody new roll a perception check. How about Shay? You want to roll a perception check? Just looking around.
Sounds good to me. Let me go ahead and get that. Well, I just got a nat 20.
Hey.
All right, what's your total?
Getting there. So 23.
23. Okay. Moving down through this valley, you kind of skirt the small lake around the right side. You're high enough at this point. These aren't the highest peaks. You can see there's higher peaks past the valley in front of you, but these were good-sized mountains for the first mountains in this range. The pond up here has some small fish swimming around in it. Nothing large, and it's fairly shallow actually, with kind of a marshy area around it, especially to the north, which is why you assume why the path probably goes around to the south. As you come around and start to work your way further up the valley, though, along the small river that runs out of the pond, the trail of smoke that you see rising off the the origin point starts to come a little bit more into the view, and you see just this small outline of what looks like it could be a good-sized cabin or something like that, just off the trail, maybe a mile up the valley.
Hey guys, I think that's a cabin. You want to check it out?
That sounds good.
Cool. Then, yeah.
Crum says we should go. Keep going. Keep going. Faster.
But why?
We're on a schedule. We have to go.
But Crumb, there might be cool things in the cabin. Things that can help us.
Well, it definitely looks occupied.
Some lone person or whatever out in the middle of the jungle. Yeah.
No.
Well, at this point, you're out of the jungle up into kind of a little bit more alpine area. It's definitely getting cooler.
I don't know. I'm concerned about people that live all by themselves, all out in the middle of the wilderness.
Are we continuing on? Because it looks to be like it's quite a ways ahead still. It's a good mile ahead. You can just kind of see the outline of it with a little bit of smoke seeming to come out of it. So far, you haven't smelled any of it. It seems like the wind here is blowing from west to east, and so it hasn't come your way. But it is right on the trail, so you will, and it's not a huge valley, so you'll have to pass at least close to it too.
Shay?
Okay, so what Crumb's thinking, I just remember that y'all are a little trying to think of a nice way to say it. Wimpy when it comes to cold weather and high altitude, so maybe this person has some warmer weather gear that y'all can use, possibly, or know where we can get it from.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Shay, I'm thinking you and I should stealth up there and check it out, and then come back.
Peek in a window.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
All right. The two of you want to roll stealth checks real quick? See how sneaky you are at this?
That would be a 13.
A 13. Okay,
And I got a
Shay.
12.
So sneaky. So up here in the mountains, it can be a little harder to hide. There's not as many bushes. There's not as many trees. The grass is a little shorter, and it's just after midday, so there's not a lot of shadows. It's not even cloudy out. But you try your best, kind of, hunching down a little bit, trying to stay behind things as much as you can. There's a few boulders that have rolled down here into the midst of the valley. It takes you a little bit, but eventually you get close enough that you see it looks like it's a very basic log cabin shape, although a little larger than you might expect for one person. And there seems to be a sign hanging outside of it, as well as a large wagon out front with two draft horses pulled up in front of it, or hooked up in front of it. That seems to have a bunch of crates or something like that are covered with a tarp.
Can we read the sign?
Yeah, getting a little bit closer, you can read the sign, and it says, "Ye Old Stag."
Shay, we found a place for a drink.
I feel like that's what we're good at. Really good at finding places to drink.
We are.
Let's get the others to have a drink with us.
Yeah, a talent should be rewarded.
Yeah, it really should, with a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go get it.
Okay.
And,
All right.
when you're coming back, you just hear Quintus asking, "I remember them being stealthier than this. Don't all of you?" I mean, they're sort of just walking over there.
Yeah, they were making a lot of noise on the way over there.
Like, I don't understand why you would clap when you're halfway there, but
That's an interesting. Yeah. Okay. So coming back, you kind of sneak your way back down to the rest of the party. Rest of the party, you hear what they found. What would you like to do?
that is weird. But I suppose we could stop in.
Yeah, consensus.
I want to know what a singles bar called the Stag is doing in the middle of this valley with nobody around.
Hope Springs Eternal.
But otherwise, yeah, let's go
Warm our toes.
knock on the door.
All right. Assuming everybody wants to, the rest of you kind of walking along the trail to this small establishment in the midst of nowhere along this well enough traveled trail. It's not a road for sure. Like to get this size of wagon that seems to be parked out front up here, it definitely took some time. But coming up, you smell that the smoke you were seeing was a wood fire of some type. You smell some type of meat cooking, and you hear a couple voices inside. It looks like a nice enough place from the outside. It's not too dirty. There is actual glass in 2 windows in the front, and a wooden door in between them, kind of that seems to be the only entrance you can see to this place. So going in.
Yeah.
I'll go in.
Yeah, who's going in?
I mean,
Is everybody going in?
I think so.
Okay. All right, going in, you see 3 people kind of spread throughout the room. One a little bit better dressed than the other 2, being a human with a interesting looking kind of larger hat on with kind of a feather coming out of it. Slightly nicer clothes, although nothing really particularly nice. Maybe I don't know, a okay trader or merchant, maybe something like that. The other 2, there is a kind of a small, very simple bar set up with 1 keg behind it and a couple bottles next to that. And behind that is a fairly short for his species dragonborn with no tail. As some of the dragonborn you've seen here in Exandria have tails, others you've seen don't. This one doesn't. It seems to be kind of a coppery brown color, and is currently deep in conversation with what looks like a bugbear.
They
About as
react
well dressed. As you walk in, do they react?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you walk in, they look over at you, and then immediately go back to talking. The trader or merchant, you assume, the human anyway, looks over at you, kind of lifts up a mug. He's not at the bar, actually. He's sitting at a very small table with 2 chairs at it, and just kind of goes back to look like he's either reading or just staring intently at something down on the table. It's a nice enough looking place.
I'll go to the bar and buy a drink. Or ask for a drink.
Okay. So walking up to the bar, the Dragonborn kind of looks over at you, stops his conversation with the bugbear, who, by the way, as you come up, does not smell good. Kind of a cross between feet and meat. It's raw meat. It's it would take some getting used to. Kind of mostly ignoring you though. But the Dragonborn turns to you and says, "All right then, you're gonna have something to drink. Welcome to
Yes.
the Old Stag. This is my establishment."
I'll take
Well-
whatever is on tap.
We have some ale. And then he turns around. As he does, you see that there's kind of some kind of wooden and metal brace set up on his left leg. And he kind of hobbles a little bit as he walks the few paces over to get the ale and brings it back to you. Says, "That'll be 1 copper."
Well, I'll buy anybody in my group who wants to drink a drink.
That'll be 6 coppers then.
Okay.
What do you all do out here? We don't get many up in here, It's a pretty slow business.
I'm going to do detect thoughts, bouncing between them, just surface thoughts. See what kind of their whatever.
The Dragonborn, the Dragonborn, you just get curiosity. The Bugbear, you get kind of a little bit of curiosity, but also, what would the word be? Distrust. Were you also looking at the human?
Yeah.
'Cause he's not very far off, but yeah. And the human, you get intense concentration.
See, intense concentration. What is he doing?
He seems to be reading something on the table in front of him.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Are there any like of empty tables or like places that the group could sit?
Yeah, I mean, there's enough kind of small tables and chairs left in the room that it looks like you could, if you borrowed the one from the humans table too, you could all sit kind of at a cobbled together kind of seating area table. This is not a big bar. It looks like at most they might usually have, a half dozen people in here, like on a busy day. So you walking in is news, like big news for this place.
All right. Well, then Crom and I are gonna go over to. I guess I start gathering together some chairs, and I'm gonna ask the human if we can, is anyone sitting here, kind of a thing, to borrow one of the chairs from his table that we need.
All right. As you ask, he kind of looks up distractedly and says, "Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. There's no one's using it." He hesitates for a moment, and then says, "I'm sorry, but what are you all doing up here? Just out of curiosity."
I was about to answer the bartender because I think he asked basically the same thing.
He did, yeah. Everybody's kind of wondering what you're doing.
Yeah, we are on a quest of our own devising of sorts. In fact, we are headed to the ruins of Draconia, and this seemed like the most direct route.
And you're talking to the Dragonborn?
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't, in this room, it almost doesn't matter because it's, unless you're whispering,
Yeah,
pretty much everybody can hear it.
And
Yeah,
he's a Ravenite, so I figured, well, yeah, maybe I'll just toss this out there.
Right. He kind of nods and looks at you appreciatively and says, "That's an interesting one. What you would be doing over in the ruins? There's not much left in the ravine there. It's mostly been abandoned at this point." I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel like I had heard at some point there was a commune in the ravine, but yeah, like you said, it's not
At
like
the
I've been out this way in
yeah.
some time.
There is there is a community, if you will, over there of, well, formerly oppressed at the end of the ravine, but not much in the ravine itself, except for bits and pieces here and there. I think there's a monument. Every once in a while, some group like yourself comes through looking for the bones of a dragon. Well, one specific dragon, but not many go in.
Interesting. Well, I must confess, we were quite confused when we saw your establishment out here as well. In fact, the map we got, it was back on the other continent. Did not even have this mountain range on it.
Well, that's right interesting. And I suppose I don't even know where most things are, though. Myself, I can't expect people way over there to understand what's here. Plus, not many people come in here. It must be mostly word of mouth with those maps. I have to assume. And the Ashkeeper Peaks are fairly long. They go a ways to the north and even a ways south from here. Rightly, it's probably confusion. And the the bugbear kind of grunts as he says that and kind of nods and seems to have, almost chuckled a little bit. The human, as you're saying this, as he had first asked Chomp, and then as you say this, kind of turns to you, kind of looks around at all of you and says, yes, you're one of those adventuring parties then. Would you be any chance interested in trade?
I'm possibly. There are a few items that might interest us in particular. Are you a trader, perhaps?
Well, I deal in certain, not the goods and services you'd usually be looking for. More exotic trade is what I deal in. Certain creatures I sell. I'm sorry. I should have introduced myself, though. My name is Kestif. Kestif Druidi. And I sell strange, exotic, some rare, sometimes animals and plants. Just if you're interested, you strike me as some people who might be.
Yeah, I think Chomsky probably somewhat unsuccessfully tries to hide his enthusiasm as he hears about exotic, rare items. And yeah, I think we might be. We could take a look at what you have. I guess maybe.
I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. I don't have a large stock right now. It's mostly out in my wagon, and a lot of it is a lot of it is in animals right now. But we could take a look.
Well, yeah.
All right,
Would certainly be interesting.
Follow me, he says, and kind of gets up. The small, it looks like a notebook with figures in it. He kind of snaps it shut, ties a band around it, and puts it into his cloak in a pocket somewhere. And as he stands, he finishes off his ale really quickly and leads you outside where it's mid-afternoon now. Here in the mountains, you're still getting some sunlight, although because of the large peaks that are to your east, you assume that especially in the morning it's going to be fairly cold for a while, as actual sunrise here will be delayed on this side of the mountains anyway. But as I digress. As he leads you out to the same good-sized cart you had seen with, it looked like some type of crates under a tarp. As you get closer, you see there are actually cages in the back of this cart. And as he kind of unties two of the back corners and throws the tarp back, you see several animals in good-sized cages. They all look fairly well cared for and taken care of. They all have food and water bowls in there with their various types of food and water. Looks like fresh straw. Some of them have little blankets in there with them. But you see what looks like some type of ape or monkey, a pretty good sized one, maybe the size of a halfling. 3 birds in a good sized bird cage, 1 blue, 1 purple, and 1 kind of yellow and white. A fairly large owl, a peacock, a maybe 10-inch long gray-green lizard, and then in one larger cage, you see 2 tiger cubs, as well as then the last cage along, kind of closest up to the buckboard up at the front where you would sit to drive. You see a small cage with a bunny in it, although something looks different about the bunny, like there's something on its head.
It's gotta be a jackalope.
I don't know, you could take a closer look.
Quite the selection you have here. Exotic indeed.
Yes, it's we enjoy them here. I've sold a few over the last few years. Well, more than a few, really. Really, though, it's been a little bit slow, and I was attempting to get higher into the mountains here to find some new inventory. As you can see, and as he gestures over, some of the space in my wagon is currently unoccupied, and I could use more. I recently sold one of my more rare animals, and which is why why I'm up here. However, if there's anything that interests you, we could make a deal. It is up to you.
I mean, out of character, I just want to hear about all the animals because animals. But what do you guys think?
I want to investigate the bunny thing.
Okay.
The bunny.
I want to pet it. Can I pet it? Can I pet it?
You probably can. Walking up to it, getting closer, you see that it's definitely an interesting looking bunny. It's kind of brown with a white kind of underside, like a lot of bunnies you see. However, as you get closer, you see what's on its head seems to be a good 6 inches of spiraling 1 point of horn going straight out from its head. And as it kind of shifts towards you, as it kind of hops a little bit and looks towards you in the cage, it kind of sparkles as it comes towards you.
A bunny corn.
It's the bunny corn. As he sees that as he sees you looking at it and going up to pet it, he says, "Yes, you've taken an interest in the Almiraj. It's an interesting type of fey creature, actually. I came across earlier this year. Would you be interested?"
Yes.
I would be.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, what does it eat?
People.
People. Wouldn't that be great?
We should definitely get care sheets for these things before we decide on one. I don't want to get it and then figure out that it eats like gold bars or something.
I'm gonna ask the guy where this bunnycorn's natural habitat is.
I mean, his natural habitat is the Feywild, as far as I know. I was kind of surprised to find one here, but they survive well enough. They're kind of a woodland animal. Yes, they're nice enough. They're fairly fearless, but they're very good pets, I've heard. Yes. Oh, and he eats what a bunny would. He likes the greens. He likes clover, carrots, and all that.
Do these animals have rudimentary training at least?
Rudimentary training in what? I'm sorry.
I mean, are they used to people or used to taking orders? We are a party that you have met adventuring. We passed through a jungle and into a mountain. If we're to bring something with us.
Oh yes, they're fairly trainable. They're tameable. They're very faithful if they get to know you. I've heard of certain mages keeping them as familiars. So, yes, it depends. The training really depends on you, though. They are also quite resistant to magic. Being from the Feywild, they from what I've heard, they can resist many spells and things like that. Also, occasionally, I find him outside the cage when it was locked up. I'm assuming this has something to do with his Fey nature.
Buy him and return him to the Fae.
Well, we could definitely. I mean, how much would you say he is worth to you then?
I want him as a pet if nobody else does. Or a tiger. Probably.
Yes, I was a little interested in the tigers, if I'm being honest.
I mean, you have to be careful with the tigers. They've already grown quite a bit since I got them, and it's only been about 4 months.
Yeah.
They keep eating more and more, and I'm kind of worried I'm not going to find somebody to sell them to before they will eat me out of literally my livelihood.
That would not be a problem for me. I can create food. They would not be pleased with it, but it would sustain them at least until they can hunt for themselves.
That sounds like a great plan then.
Yes, the Raven
if you would be
Queen provides.
If you would be interested. In any case, looking over at Crom, he says, would you be interested in the Al Mirage, perhaps?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'm asking.
I'm jumping.
I'm asking 200 gold for him.
Yes. Here you go.
Oh. He kind of looks taken aback and says, "Would you like the cage with it as well, or would you like to just carry him? It's up to you."
We will just I will carry him. Do you have a leash? No, it's okay.
I do not have a leash, but he's fairly friendly. He will allow you to hold him. So as he kind of comes up, he unlocks the little cage, brings him out, and you see this bunny. He's a good-sized bunny. Like, he's not one of those huge giant bunnies, but he's this, the size of a fairly fat cat, with his sparkly unicorn horn coming off. You see as you get closer that there's actually a little bit of dappling and kind of light spots that are in the brown on his coat, almost like a fawn in some ways. He's a very pretty looking bunny, and he's very soft as you take him. But he kind of puts his nose up and kind of sniffs at you, and it kind of does this little bunny sniff thing. It's very cute. in any case, if you would like to train him or things like that, or have him as a pet as you go on, we'll have to do some animal handling checks at some point. But he can be useful. Anybody? Quintus, were you interested in the tigers?
Out of character, I know it's a horrible idea, but in character, like tigers. I would ask. I mean, I'm interested in the tigers. They are fierce, beautiful creatures, and they might be able to. They would have a higher likelihood of surviving our journeys than most. What price were you thinking?
I mean, they are. I've brought the price down over time, but I would say I could do 100 gold pieces for each one. But that's up to you. I mean, if you have something for trade, perhaps that it's worth something, or.
Let me think.
I mean, it is up to, just be aware that they are not as trainable as El Mirage, that little bunny over there. He's much more trainable than the tigers. I've been trying. They don't bite me anymore, which is good, but I worry. As you look over, they kind of are both sitting there, one kind of laying on its side watching you, the other sitting up very intently watching all of you. Their tails kind of swishing back and forth at the end.
Quintus, I'm going to pull you to one side, and I'll tell you that I'll give you 100 gold to buy one of the tigers.
Yeah.
I feel so guilty about taking your gold last time out of character. I feel really horrible about it.
No, you're perfectly fine. I would have more than enough gold to buy one.
But I'll buy the other one for you.
I mean, that is an idea. Before I commit, I don't want to take one of these animals into a dangerous or foreign environment. Like I would let me just see something, just a moment. And
Okay.
let's see. I am going to. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at my spells because this should be good. I'm going to enhance my own ability, and give myself Owl's Wisdom.
Okay.
And then, as I do, I will approach the tiger cages, and just in general, I want to roll an animal handling.
Yeah, go for it.
'Cause I don't want to kill a tiger. That's like the worst thing. But do I want to be a dwarven tiger king? Maybe.
Yes, you do. Even though you haven't even watched the fucking show.
I mean, you have the mustache to start off with, so that helps.
19. I got a 10.
19.
I got a 10 and a 14, and I got a +5. Anyways.
Okay. Walking up, they seem fairly friendly to you. The one that was already sitting up immediately kind of stands up and kind of rubs along the cage as you come up to put your hand out, like a cat would. The other one continues to lie there and kind of watch you, just kind of cocks its head to the side. They seem like they're friendly enough. It's hard to know if you could train them well, though. Just on a moment's notice, you could do a nature check if you wanted, just to see what you might recall knowing about them.
Sure. That's intelligence, which I'm not great at, but I'll try it regardless.
You know what? Why not?
Wow, roll an 18 plus 1. That's
So another 19.
yeah.
All right. I mean, you know that you've seen like traveling shows and things that have trained tigers. Even they kept them in cages most of the time when they weren't out performing.
Mhm.
So you got the sense that they're dangerous animals, and you're not so sure how well you could keep one with you traveling.
But it would be fun, though. If only I had speak with
That's the side that's not the intelligence talking. Yes.
Yeah, well, my intelligence is not that high. Let me think for a bit. The price
This is fine. I'll
within.
be here for at least till tomorrow.
Okay.
And yes, Miss, with the bunny over there. Take care of it, okay? It's special. Is anybody else interested in any of the other animals?
Yeah, I want to ask him about the lizard. Is this thing full grown? How big does this lizard get?
I mean, I think it gets a little bit bigger than this. I'm not quite sure what type it is. The person who sold it to me called it a tuatara, and they kept insisting it wasn't a lizard, but it looks like a lizard, and so that's what I call it. I think this is about as large as they slowly grow over time, as I was told, but they don't get too big. But yes, he's a very interesting. He doesn't move a lot. He eats bugs. It's a nice companion if you don't want anything running away, I suppose.
And what else was there? There was some birds.
There was several, looks like songbirds. There was a good-sized owl. It's a little bit haggard looking. There was a peacock, and there was a monkey, who, as you got close, you realized is probably a baboon. And just the way it's sitting and its kind of body language, you get that it's not very friendly. All right. Oh, and Chris and I added the bunny to the extras on your character sheet, so you can see what he's capable of.
Okay, yeah, I think she went to the kitchen, but yeah, she was looking for it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I added it in there, so if she refreshes, she should be able to find it. All right. At that, he says, well, if nobody else is going to be buying at the moment, might we retire back inside and have a drink?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we could go back in and probably discuss the possibility of becoming a traveling circus.
I mean, we can take the campaign in that direction if y'all want to. Like, I'm on board with it, but
that certainly will be interesting.
Yeah.
As a magic user, having a pair of tigers is very tempting.
Right?
Did you know that Roy Horn died the other day?
No.
As in Siegfried and Roy? Yeah, he died of COVID just the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I know. I was kind of sad.
That's wild.
I mean, his tigers didn't kill him in the end.
Which is, what we all thought was going to happen, right?
I mean, yes. We all just kind of assumed, and that was the way it was.
Also, I've been looking through my spells, and I do have tongues, which would grant any creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears.
Oh God.
And moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target can understand what it says.
You're assuming that a tiger can speak.
It makes noises. Like if my cat can meow at me for food, I think a tiger has some form of verbiage.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
It's a different kind of language. I don't expect like sentences, more like
It's
hungry.
It's more tonal.
Yeah. But more importantly, I would know it would understand me. So that's interesting.
That is true. You could get to understand you,
Yeah.
which is one step in getting it to obey you, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm just trying to.
All right. Moving back inside.
Also, is this
yes.
the fucker who sold them the blink dog?
Yes.
Okay, thought so. Just curious.
I was, we're in the neighborhood, so I was like, yeah, I'm taking that.
Yeah. I was about to say, oh man, oh no, if there's a fucking weasel, I know Cat's gonna get it.
There's no weasel, but
Is
there
there
is
a
an
weasel?
owl.
No, the weasel got bought.
No!
But there is an owl.
No, I want a weasel. Damn it.
Sorry, no weasels.
Damn it.
Did the owl fly back?
Maybe.
I like that headcanon.
I like it too, and we can go with that. Anyway, moving back inside, you find the Dragonborn and the Bugbear once again in conversation. It seems like this Bugbear speaks fairly good common, and is better dressed than the other Bugbears you run into over your travels. Still not well dressed. Basically, it's a nicer loincloth and a kind of open vest. But as you come back through the door, the bartender says, "Oh yes, you'll be going deeper into the peaks then."
Yes, we will.
Oh, all right. You might be careful. My friend here was just telling me. Apparently, there's a group of kobolds, a couple passes through to the east that have been, well, you might say, harassing folks as they move through. As well as there's been some sightings of larger flying creatures in the area. Nobody's quite sure what they are. It's only been from a distance, but good size if the reports are true. So just keep an eye out up there. All right. So, moving on. Is there anything anybody else would like to do here at Ye Old Stag before moving on with the journey? Yes, no? Yes, no? Because if there isn't, you got a choice. You can, because it's mid-afternoon at this point, as you've been talking for a while and kind of getting to know some animals. So you could continue on for a few more hours before bedding down for the night, or you could sleep here at the tavern. It is a one-room kind of tavern, so it would be next to the fire on the floor on a mat. But it's up to you.
I mean, this might be the last chance for some time. We will have a roof over our heads.
All right.
What do you all think?
With the new animal, then yes. We should stay
Yeah,
here.
how is that rabbit, by the way? What was it? Oh, what?
Mirage.
Al-Mirage.
Almirage. Interesting.
He's really cute.
Have you thought of a name yet, Crom?
I'm working on it.
I mean, these are some things to put some thought into. It's not like we can all just come up with great puns for our undead right off the bat, you know. Okay, so kind of bedding down for the night. So just for general knowledge, Crom, could you make an animal handling check, just getting used to your new buddy?
Uh, 10.
10. Okay. Like it's definitely, it's a bit nervous being out of its normal cage and the normal smells and things. But you manage to get it to settle down a bit, and as you fall asleep for the night, it starts cuddling up in your arm, although occasionally still its head jerks up and it kind of looks around when there's a noise that it's not used to. Like it's not eating food out of your hand or anything yet, but it will stay in your vicinity, and it's very, very cute. The rest of you, well, actually, yeah, the rest of you, as you spend maybe a couple coppers on the stew that they had going in the back. There's also some crusty, rough bread that they serve with it. It's not bad, and it keeps you going. But you can bed down for the night here. Would you like to set a watch? You obviously can if you want.
Seeing as I don't really sleep, I don't see why I wouldn't do that all the time.
Yeah, roll a perception check just to see. What'd you get?
22.
20? All right. So keeping an eye out through Casilda's eyes, just kind of sitting as everybody else falls asleep. You see it gets dark up here, fairly fast. There's something about the thinner atmosphere at the slightly higher elevation where there's just less refraction of light off of other parts of the atmosphere, as there is less atmosphere. And as the sun goes down, it very suddenly quickly becomes dark, and and much colder outside. Casilda deals with it fairly well. She's she has her abilities, I suppose. But watching over the course of the night, she doesn't see a lot. There's some type of large tawny colored cat that she kind of catches just a glimpse of, coming over one ridge into the valley and then back out the next. Doesn't even seem to pay attention to the fact that there's a small building and the horses and things there. There's a few other nighttime birds and at least one other owl that she hears, but other than that, not a lot going on. But waking up in the morning, unless there's anybody else wanted to do. Quintus, you want to get those tigers?
Tempting.
You want to get them?
I mean, I totally do.
I'm sure somebody could use their dagger to cut your hair into a mullet, and
oh, it'd be great.
you could start a country rock career. It would be great.
But
How long is this guy staying in this area?
Well, asking Prestif tells you that he's only up here for a few days in the area, trying to find just rare animals or animals that people in the lowlands might not have seen.
Gotcha.
Things like birds or small mammals, reptiles, things like that. So it'll only be in the next couple of days. He also tells you that he's generally somewhere. He spends most of his time in between Nicodranus and Zadash, on the roads between, kind of traveling up and down to different small villages and things like that. So if you ever wanted to, you could go and try to find him that way.
but sure, I think I'll get a tiger. That's just a thing you do in D&D, right? You just get a tiger.
Yeah, sure. No, totally. We could do this. I didn't expect anybody to buy the tigers, but we go for it. He's asking 100 gold. Would you like one or two?
I think one, two, like one, I'm already gonna lose it, and it's just gonna escape it to the wilderness. I don't think I need to buy both.
Okay.
So yeah, 100 gold. I will I will ask him. You said you are already having trouble feeding these little ones, and they're only going to get bigger. What are your plans in the coming, I guess, weeks, months for them?
That's a good question. I was going to see if one of the medium to large size zoos in one of the larger cities are in need. Otherwise, I was going to try to train them to hunt and release them into the jungle, honestly.
I see. Well, I am at least interested in one. I don't know if any of my companions are interested in the other, but the friendlier one from yesterday, I think, I think we can give this a try.
We can do that. Just so you know, I don't take refunds.
Oh, of course.
Okay. So handing over 100 gold in the morning there, you have a tiger cub, which I don't have a stat sheet for right now. But I will get you something.
Tiger cub.
I'm thinking the alignment will be chaotic adorable.
Chaotic adorable tiger cub. Sweet.
Yes. We'll see what it can do. Okay.
All right.
It is big enough that it'll be tough for you to carry. Like, it's not a little tiger cub. It's like, the size of a small dog kind of tiger cub, or small to medium sized dog.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I am going to waste a 3rd level slot to cast tongues on it because I make decisions, I guess. And just inform it that it is time for you to leave this cage, little one. You can now come with me and my companions here, and we're going to go out a bit more into the wild.
It kind of makes that like "Meow" sound at you, which you immediately take to, because you can understand what he would mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Would you take to mean play?
Yes, there will be much playing in the much learning. Just as long as you stay close, you will have food, and we'll hopefully be safe.
And right about then, he launches himself at your chest.
Fair.
Can I come up and go? Does it want to play?
As it jumps.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm really good at these. No worries. Oh wow, I actually did well. 17.
17. Yeah, and so as he kind of jumps up, he's not quite big enough to knock you over yet, but you kind of half catch him and stumble back a sec.
I want to play wrestle a tiger.
Yes, play, little one. I am.
This is the way to do cub petting. Let me tell you.
Yes, I am.
In D&D.
I am Quintus, and this is my very good friend Shay. She's very good at playing as well. And
I'm gonna slap my thighs and go play wrestle.
It can't even understand you, but it does.
Actually, it can.
No, it could understand her. Right
Yeah,
now.
it can understand everyone.
And it immediately jumps at you. Could you make a dexterity saving throw?
But I want to catch it and
Okay. Well, actually,
I want
in that
to
case,
tackle this sucker.
make a contested strength throw then.
Awesome. Okay. 13. Oh. that's a 21.
Okay, yeah. So as it kind of jumps at you and you're wrestling around with it, you immediately kind of flip it over onto its back and start rubbing its tummy.
But
And
I'm
it kind
the
of
boss.
paws at you up like this.
Oh.
It's very, very fun.
I'm just gonna
Think
look
of
and
a
go, I'm the big tiger.
All right.
I mean, this is how you
Hey,
train
what's
it.
about the lizard?
Chomsky is going to get the Tuatara.
Oh.
Okay. What are you doing?
You
can't just introduce this to us, Tim.
I
What were you
know,
thinking?
you know what? I watched Critical Role. I should know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just. Yeah. Okay. You know.
The
You know what?
Tuatara,
Apparently, he's universal.
he sounds easy and chill, and he can just kind of like sit on my shoulder and
Yeah. And Crestif says, yes, the 20 gold for the lizard.
all right, thank you, sir.
So you have a tuatar. As you kind of pick it up, it kind of almost like gecko style, kind of waddles up your arm a little bit, and kind of sticks its tongue out. And it seems pretty acclimated to people. And Crestif says it eats small insects, things like that. It'll eat small bits of meat if you have it. Just try to take care of him. Also, they're supposed to live for more than 100 years, so. Just be aware. Okay. Unless anybody would like to buy the rest of this menagerie, would we like to continue on?
So we got the peacock and the songbirds and the baboon.
There's a baboon. There's also an owl.
An owl.
And there's another
Make
tiger.
sure I'm not missing anything. There is another tiger.
So can I look at this tiger and go, is the other tiger your friend?
Well, I don't know if it knows the concept of friendship.
But you're
Buddy?
gesturing at the other tiger?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how well it understands you. Sure, it understands you. Kind of walking up to and rubbing up against the cart wheel as you gesture over to the cage. It kind of makes this kind of mewling, purring sound, and you don't understand necessarily because Quintus, you would understand though, right?
No, only the target. Like
Yeah, I'm saying that this the target.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you get something that you take to mean sibling.
Oh,
It
fuck.
would seem that they may be siblings.
We have to get both.
I don't have the gold.
You have to get both.
We have to get both. We can't separate siblings.
I can I can give you the gold.
I would. I cannot take care of two tigers. If one of you wishes to get the other tiger and shoulder that responsibility as well, then
I had just assumed that this was going to be a group effort.
I understand that.
I feel like this is a group effort. I'm totally down to buy this tiger.
Okay then.
I will have 2 playing buddies then.
Yes, I suppose that is true. You are
It's great for strength training.
you are wild yourself, so
As long as I don't have to feed it, I'm down with it.
So,
All right. Who's paying for this thing? Roland, were you paying for it?
I'll pay for it.
oh my god, yes, thank you.
But I'm going to give it to Shay. Because
Oh my
I'm not
God.
an animal elf.
No, you are a
I
high
just-
elf. There's animals beneath you.
I'm gonna look at Quintus and go, can you cast the spell thingy on this one too?
It's a third. Sure. I guess. Um. Yeah.
I
It,
want to understand it.
it is not concentration, so yes, I can use this other third level spell slot to do this.
How long does it last for?
An hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I will cast tongues on the second tiger. Hello, hello, little one. You should be able to understand us more clearly now. I am Quintus. This is Shay, and
I'm your mama.
okay.
This one is a little bit. It is not as rambunctious as the other, as it kind of hesitantly kind of steps out of the cage and and hops down onto the ground.
I'm gonna put out a hand.
She first goes up to her brother, and then kind of goes over and sniffs your hand.
I will make sure that you get fed and you play. Just make sure to follow me. I will take care of you.
Shay and Quintus, could you make animal handling checks? Just real quick, just to see.
Oh,
and for that matter, Chomp, if you could make an animal handling check for your new pet.
Holy shit! I rolled a 19.
Oh.
22.
I rolled a 15, so that's a 20.
Okay.
I
And
have a
Chomp,
22.
the Tuatar is going to have a much lower DC, just so you know.
I rolled a 9.
I mean, it gets a little wiggly at some points, and you find yourself over the course of today, anyway, as you're going to be walking on, having to actually kind of hold it in your hands rather than on your shoulder. It might take a while, it seems like, but it doesn't immediately run away from you, so that's good.
And I'm just trying to work over this sweet little girl cub.
Yeah. So spending maybe an hour with your animals. Shay, you end up with scratches all over your forearms and hands.
Yeah. Wasn't it?
You also a little bit, but you have some bracers on, so you don't get quite as much.
Yeah, I'm heavily armored.
Yeah.
Well, not heavily. It's medium armor, but
you're definitely more armored than the monk.
AC 18.
But eventually, you all, I'm assuming, get back on the road and moving through the mountains.
Yeah.
Is my little girl comfortable with me?
Yeah, but at this point, like as you kind of you can't. These tiger cubs are a little bit big to carry along with you, but they follow along with you. Although they go off, like if there's a butterfly or something, they immediately go and chase after it, things like that.
And I'm like, hi, here.
Yeah. But through the rest of the day, it's easy enough to follow the trail. Who wants to roll a perception check to keep a lookout?
I can.
Go for
it. 2.
2.
So, well, it's a 7 total, but yeah, I rolled a 2.
So over the course of walking through the morning into around noon,
distracted by the tigers.
You are very distracted by the tigers, and they are very distracted by many little bugs that are kind of flying around, the occasional bird that flies up out of the bushes along the trail. You make your way out of this first valley and start going up a second pass that goes between two even larger peaks. And as you start going up, you start to see it was pretty cool and getting cold where you had spent the night. As you are moving even further up, you start seeing patches of snow, and on the tops of the peaks, you see there's quite a bit of snow. As you top out in the kind of the top neck of the pass here, there's definitely quite a bit of snow on the ground. Although it's obvious that people have been walking on the trail and keeping it mostly clear. It's at least not iced over or snowed over. In any case, it's a little wet. and parts of it are a bit crunchy as it's getting near freezing at this point. But you see that you are looking down into a valley, a large valley that's actually going north to south at this point. It's fairly steep on the side. There is a river, it looks like, to your north that is flowing into a bay that seems to broaden out directly in front of you. And once again, the same kind of switchbacks of this trail seem to be going down this far side. Following down, you get to the bottom eventually and find that the trail heads off along into the kind of steep valley / canyon that the river flows out of. Now, when you were at the tavern last night, you did get a little bit of information about this. Vaguely, to get to Draconia, you're going to have to go to the north and then crossing the river. Eventually, there is a second river that will branch off and allow you to get into the interior of the southern parts of Xhorhas, which then will lead you down into Draconia. So you will have to go north along the river here for a little bit before you hit the branch. As you come down to where the bay kind of meets the mountains and the river just to your north, there's a little bit of salt-smelling air as the brackish water is kind of, is created by the mixing of the salt and the fresh water. And you hear some seabirds in the distance, although not many close to you. And as the land kind of next to the mountains here kind of broadens out a little bit, there's a few hills. And going over the first hill that you come to, following the trail, you suddenly start hearing a fairly loud noise that some of you might have heard before you got to this point. Like Crom, you would have heard this before getting to this point, before crossing the crest of the hill. Because your passive perception is fairly high. But you hear what sounds like a lot of yelling and fighting. In some kind of language that you don't immediately, recognize. And then another voice yelling that seems much deeper and maybe from a larger person. But as you crest over the hill, you see about 100 meters off, close to the bottom of where the cliffs come down out of the mountains to the shore here. It looks like a good-sized group, maybe a couple dozen kobolds. Many of them dressed the same, with like some of them with skulls over their head and snout, like helmets, and most of them with some type of spear, some with torches, seem to have cornered a troll and have it kind of surrounded against the cliffs and are kind of poking at it and slashing at it, but have, as of yet, it seems like every time they slash it, within a minute or so, it closes back up. And it's definitely a sight. What would you all like to do?
Can I, when I hear this, am I the first one to hear it? Can I warn them, like, to slow down and there's something going on over the hill?
Yeah, you definitely can, because as you hear it, and this is what you would see as you would kind of crest it and peek over the hill. So you can tell everybody to slow down. seeing this, though, you can see that while it is a bit removed from the trail, any way to get through the land to where this part of the land to where you're going, you would need to cross through within sight of this that's going on.
And we were warned about kobolds in the area, right?
Yeah.
You were, yeah. Apparently, they're waylaying travelers. Looking out here, though, they seem to be trying to go after something bigger than usual. In that it's a good-sized troll.
So I guess if we see all this before we make our presence known to the group,
Let's go save a troll.
Well, we could save the troll, or we could help the kobolds defeat the troll, and then maybe win over the kobolds. Because, morality.
Mm.
We're gonna save the troll.
Kobolds are disgusting, nasty little creatures.
We'll help more
Save
people
the
if we
troll.
destroy the kobolds.
I mean,
Yes.
trolls aren't exactly the cleanest creatures.
Yeah. Chomp, roll a
We
history
gotta
check.
save the troll.
Oh, what check?
A history.
Mm.
Uh, 21.
Okay. From the reading and stuff you've done, you know that trolls are just as likely as these kobolds, it seems, to also be waylaying or travelers in the wilderness. Yeah, and from the look of it, there's a good sized, maybe entire tribe of kobolds that have it cornered, like several dozen.
Well, third option, we just go that way and avoid the whole situation.
Well, we kind of have to go.
Oh yeah,
that way.
yeah.
Well, I mean, there is some room between the cliff and the shore side.
What if we
It
just
may
kill
be
them all?
possible, like it isn't directly next to them, but there is, like, if some of them happen to look over at the right moment, they might see you going through. So you might be able to sneak through. It depends on how quiet and sneaky all of you are.
We do have water breathing.
That is true.
Crom is fine with whatever the group decides. I don't have any preference either way.
Well, I think Crom would probably want to fight one or the other.
Oh yeah. Of course we're gonna fight, but I'm just saying, like, I don't care.
What do the rest of you think?
There might be something to fight in the water.
I mean, you're all going to fight something eventually in any case. It just depends on when, I suppose.
So a few dozen kobolds, or
Yes.
one troll.
Maybe the troll can help us kill the kobolds, and then once we've killed them, then we can kill the troll. Yeah.
Okay.
So just kill them all.
Kill them all,
Kill them all.
and then animate the troll.
All right. So Sirthis, you were saying use water breathing, maybe. Roland, what do you say?
Well, I say we just fight our way through or sneak around them. I'm a little worried about the tigers underwater.
Good call.
I'm worried about a magical bunny underwater as well.
magical bunnies. What do you say, Shay?
I think we should kill the fucking kobolds.
Okay, Quintus, what do you say?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, my mic has been messing up. It's been on. I think sneaking by or just letting this fight play out, and then whatever side comes out on top, then we could deal with.
By deal with, you mean
Murder.
murder? Murder
Yeah.
the survivor?
Yes, this is a tribe of harassing kobolds and a monster. I figure it would just make this path safer. And I don't know if they would split off to come attack us if they saw us sneaking by, but I don't know a lot about kobolds. They don't seem like the intelligent type, or are they?
I mean, the rest of you in the group have a bunch of you in the group have encountered kobolds before, and you know that they weren't especially. Yeah.
Yes, I think.
What does the troll look like, or does anybody know anything about trolls
Has he taken a lot of damage already?
or troll types of trolls?
So as you all have been talking, but also watching from a distance, I mean, he's a pretty, compared to the things you've read before, because I had to do a history check. He's a good-sized troll. Just from the bulk of him and things, he's not one of those forest trolls that you hear about. That's more kind of limber and you know and fast. It's more of a mountain troll. Almost looks a little bit like stone. And as you're watching, every time it gets hit, it seems to be like you've seen some large wounds opened up by some of these spears that have, over the course of talking, closed by now. It seems to be healing naturally as it's attacked. Also, it's killed a couple of the kobolds as you've been talking.
Yes, this seems like a war of attrition that these kobolds are not going to win.
All right, so we got two options then. Try to sneak by, or I guess three. Wait it out, try to sneak by, or rush in and fight.
You know what? One vote for sneak by.
2 votes for sneak by.
The sneaky people would say that, I think. I love you guys.
Waiting it out is okay too, and then taking on the victor. I can do that.
Yeah, same here.
All right.
I mean, if there's a possibility of, I mean, I think alliance would be a strong word, but you know, if we could get the troll to
Not eat us?
like us, you know, it might be
Worth it.
beneficial. Trolls is cool. They got,
I thought that was a mean troll.
well,
Let's kill it.
I mean, most trolls are mean.
but could they be would they reasonably, like, I don't know, understand that we helped it out?
Oh yeah, they're intelligent.
I mean, they're intelligent, yeah.
Yeah, they're intelligent. So, and they can communicate. They're not by any means dumb beasts, as it were. Yeah. So you could. I mean, you've heard of people working, you know, with trolls. It's just that they tend to be more on the side of I'm going to eat you. Yeah, so it's up to you.
You want?
So what I'm kind of hearing is I don't know what I'm hearing. Really.
Let's attack the kobolds.
I don't want to do that.
What if we try to sneak? If we get caught, then we attack them.
I mean, if they force our hand, yes.
I'm fine with that.
As you've been talking, another 4 kobolds have died.
Sweet.
We might just have to kill a troll in a minute.
I mean, as I said, one of the options is just wait it out. I did not think the kobolds were going to win this, considering how that troll seems to be regenerating. It's kind of astounding.
We might want to try to sneak by when they're engaged, maybe, and not wait until it's just the troll that we have to then fight.
Sure. I'm okay with the sneaking. And at this point, I will try. Like, this is obviously well beyond the tongues,
Okay.
but I will try and communicate with the animal that we are with the tigers that we are going to start stalking forward. There is prey up ahead, like, or just to follow, even.
Yeah.
Maybe just to follow. That would be the
Just to follow.
easiest.
Does someone
Okay.
have pass without trace?
I do not know this spell.
I thought somebody had it. Maybe that was Saul.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
Yeah, the druid.
Dang, and our druid's gone. Yeah. That would have been good for this. Well,
Well, we can do our best.
Oh, you know who does have Pass Without a Trace? Shay.
Oh yeah, Shay does. Yo, you wanna get that? I
Yeah.
remember I used that when I NPC'd you before.
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Also, like, we're in like the mountains, right? That water has to be fucking cold.
Well, you like in the course of this, you went over this pass and down, and you're now at like where a river is coming into a bay. It is fairly cold, and you're on the other side of the mountains now, out of the jungle and everything.
Yeah.
It is winter still,
Yeah.
but you're at you're at sea level. It took you a few hours to get down here. But
Yeah, I'd rather
Yeah.
not get into the water. I think, Shay, can you just see if you can cloak us?
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright. So, with Pass Without a Trace,
Mm-hmm.
could everyone roll a stealth check?
Cool.
And then add your modifier and add 10 and all that.
Okay. That is a 22 total for Quintus.
Okay.
28 total for rolling.
Oh, wow. All right.
15.
I got a 32,
Okay.
Dang.
a natural 20.
Dang.
and I got an unnatural 20.
All right.
Nice.
So we add 10 to whatever.
10, so yeah, 30.
Yeah, do a regular stealth check and then add 10 on top of that.
Okay, so I got 30.
Okay.
I got 31.
Dang.
And could each of you,
Holy shit.
Shay and Quintus, could you just roll a quick, just general check and add 10? We'll just print it, then they have no modifier for your cubs.
That's a 21 for McCub.
Okay.
That's a 21 as well.
I rolled an
Wow.
11.
Me too.
Okay.
14.
So, 14?
Oh,
Okay.
dang.
Well,
But
I
we're
am.
doing it I'm doing this as a group check, and most
Yeah.
of you rolled above 20, so I think
Everyone
a lot of you
rolled
rolled
above
30.
20 except for our
Because you're
warlock. Yeah.
okay. But as a group, kind of cloaked in the shadows, the little bit of shadows that are in this field. Let's see what kind of perception they got. Oh yeah, that's not great.
That's what I like to hear.
Hmm.
I mean, they're never gonna roll enough to. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
those
okay.
30s are massive.
Okay. So, moving through, you watch as you're slowly kind of creeping through, and stealthing, you're not able to move very fast, so it does take you a good half an hour to get through this kind of small headland that's between the cliffs and the bay here. Watching the battle as it goes on, you see that the kobolds, even though they've lost, going on nearly half their numbers, they seem to have figured out that if they use their torches to burn the troll, that it seems to be doing lasting damage to it, and they're slowly wearing it down. But before either side wins, you are able to get to the mouth, the very mouth of the river, and into, like, pass around kind of a corner of rock that goes into this canyon that goes that the trail follows with the river. And you lose sight of them, and then after a few more minutes lose sound of them, and you manage to get by. Those were some really good like, I know you had Pass Without a Trace, but nobody rolled any natural ones or anything, so
Yeah.
it's great. All right, moving along the river, you're in this is a fairly tight canyon. There's just enough room on one side for the trail. Occasionally there'll be a fording of the river with some rocks in it, where you can get across to the other side of the canyon when the other side opens up a little bit more. So occasionally you have to get a little bit wet, but it's still like somebody follows this trail on a regular enough basis that it keeps fairly clear. Who is keeping an eye out right now?
I can.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
And I'm in the front, so
Yes, and that's a
Nat
good question.
20.
Nat 20. Okay.
Dang, Cat.
Listen.
Yes, use all your good rolls now.
Yeah, that I have this distinct feeling that all the nat ones are about to come.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, and what is the marching order here? Crom, you're saying you're going to be in front? And then
I
Who
can
wants
bring
to-
up the rear.
rolling at the end.
I'll be in the middle.
Magic users, where are you going to be?
I'm next to Shay. It doesn't really matter where. Just because I'm sure we're corralling the tigers as we go.
Oh, definitely.
I'll be
Chop 'em.
behind Crom.
Yep. Okay. Sir, does you care where you are?
My perception in total was a 23.
Somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle. Okay, cool. I'll put you between there. All right. Your total was 23?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, we're fine. We skipped the fight. It's all good.
Haha.
I mean, it would only be fair to tell you that I do have multiple maps over here.
Hey, we skipped the fight. It's all good.
Yeah, we skipped the fight.
Just keep saying it, and it'll come
Pass
through.
Without a Trace.
How long does that last, by the way?
1 hour, I think.
Dang.
Is it?
And how many
Yep.
key points does that cost, Kat? 2?
I
I think 2.
Double check.
That's a good question.
It's just a second level spell.
So yeah, 2 key points, I think.
Yeah, 2 key points.
Yeah,
Oh,
makes sense.
yeah, that's well worth it.
It is. How many key points you got right now?
8.
8. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. As the day marches on, and you do as well, the trail kind of meanders across. Occasionally, there's a small side canyon with like a creek that'll come out. This is a fairly raging, like, whitewater of a river. occasionally there'll be calmer sections, and usually this is where the fords are, where it gets a little bit broader and a little bit shallower, and you can kind of wade across at maybe knee depth. As it goes, though, it seems to narrow down even more and more until you come to a point where it looks like there is a recent large rockfall across this narrow point in the canyon. It even knocked over one of the trees that's sometimes along the river here. The tree is on your side, the roots of it are, but it's been partially uprooted and is leaning against the whole river into the opposite canyon wall. The rockfall that's come over, some large boulders, the largest one, maybe 20, 30 feet tall, is blocking part of the river and also the entire trail. What would you like to do?
What did Shay's like nat 20 perception check ping anything?
Not as of yet, no.
Darn.
I mean, we're still going with it, so
Yeah.
it still may. Like, you can't see beyond this rockfall.
If only we had somebody who could see through a bird. Oh, wait.
Sure, why not?
All right, roll a perception check, sending Casilda to the other side.
Eight.
8. All right. On the other side, you're not seeing anything. There's more of the rock fall. There's some smaller size boulders and the big ones that are right in front of you. It kind of trails off after a while into a regular trail again. Shay, while
Totally.
he's sending Casilda over, was that? It's
Until
totally fine.
everything gets clear.
Totally clear.
Good.
Shay, while this is happening, you do notice high above, it catches your eye, something quite above the peaks around you, flying at a fairly high altitude. It's hard to tell exactly how high or exactly how big it is.
I'm gonna kind of motion upward, kind of like lightly tapping everyone, like,
All right, everybody, you're alerted to the presence of some very high up flying something.
Yes. A dragon. It's okay. It's an ancient dragon. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Well, I mean, I do have one right here, but no, I don't think so.
Not today. All right. Well, so getting past this like a rock slide is the only way really climbing over it, or
I mean, you could try to swim in the water if you wanted to go around it. It's fairly rapids here. Like you might get banged around a little bit, and it's cold water. It's ice melt.
don't want to do that.
You can. There is. It looks like a way to kind of scramble up on the rocks. It might be easier for some people than others, depending on your abilities with this kind of thing. It's not an insurmountable pile of rocks. It's just definitely going to take a minute.
Well, Shay or Crom, would you ford the path amongst these rocks? It's just something we could follow. I am not as young as I once was.
Yes.
All right, Shay and Crom, are you gonna forge the path up the rocks?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay. Moving up the rocks, It takes a moment. Yeah.
As they are, I am going to loudly whisper to Chomsky. I wonder which one can climb the rocks faster. I know they're both very strong, but I just no.
I hear this.
You gonna race?
I hear it too.
Oh yeah, nah, it's a thing.
Ready?
Go.
Athletics check.
What do we need to roll?
Athletics.
Athletics. Okay.
I got 18.
23.
Damn.
18. What'd you get?
I got 18. She got 23.
23. All right. So as you're kind of scrambling up, I mean, it's hard with the monks. They're bouncy.
We are.
And they're good at climbing. But
Very.
as you're kind of going through the first little bit, getting up over the first boulders and up onto like the kind of face of this really big boulder in front of you, she definitely gets a lead on you. Roll one more athletics check.
$16.
22.
22. And as it seems like she's got less gear on her and stuff like that, she just kind of leaps up and kind of like just kind of throws herself up, grabs the top, and kind of brings herself over this big block of granite boulder that's fallen off the cliff face somewhere from high above. And yeah, she beats you to the top. She's fast and strong.
Yeah.
Crom,
I'm that strength is just, it's all natural.
Crom says that good job, because I don't hold grudges and I appreciate another person that is strong. So
I look at Crom and go, that was just the start of many, right? And I put my hand out to shake.
I shake, but I squeeze it real hard.
Yeah, we both squeeze real hard. It's still a pissing contest.
Okay. I'm not going to have you do a strength check for the shake, unless you really want me to.
I'm going to give it to Crom.
Okay.
Because I don't doubt that Crom could crush my hand.
So, getting to the top and kind of brushing yourself off, there's definitely some sand and dirt that got into your hands and things, and even kind of into your eyes as things. It's very loose up here, as it's a fairly new rockfall, it looks like. Shay, getting to the top as Crom is kind of pushing herself up directly behind you, because she wasn't too far behind. You look over the side and you catch a little bit of movement as it looks like one of the rocks on the other side shifts.
I'm going to stalk that.
You gonna stalk that?
I'm going to stalk it.
Okay.
I'm following.
As you're kind of going to the other side of the rock and seeing what of the boulder and seeing what this rock down below is doing, the rest of you hear a loud, like screeching cry from above and behind you. As you turn around, you see this shape coming down, its wings outspread as if to break it. And it lands just maybe a few feet in back of you, and you see what looks almost like a dragon, but a little bit smaller. Its back legs and tail kind of counterbalancing its neck and head as it brings down both wings in front of it with the claws on the end to act as its front legs. It looks like its skin is a very similar color to the rocks around, and even maybe a similar texture. And it's some of you recognize it as a wyvern, although more muscly looking and slightly bigger than some of the ones you previously heard of. At the same moment, Shay and Crom, you see two rocks suddenly from the other side start to move and unfurl wings. It looks like they had been covering up their heads and bodies kind of to look like bits of boulder. And two smaller wyverns suddenly launch themselves up towards you. Could everybody roll initiative?
Ah,
And I'm going to set something up real quick. So keep those numbers in your head. I'll be right back.
Oh boy.
Roland thrives on going last.
Yes, the rogue.
I am legitimately waiting to roll a 1. I'm waiting. It's gonna happen when I try to hit something. I know that.
Good with your rolls, but sometimes the dice be like that.
And it scares me when the dice be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I got a solid 10.
I got an
I beat
18.
I got a 6.
God, how? You have to have like +3 or 4 to your dex, right? Oh man.
I don't know. I'd have to check it.
I mean, yeah, you like if you roll that low, it makes sense. But oof.
Oof is correct. Do I want flan or rice pudding?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Flan.
1 vote flan.
Flan.
Yeah,
Two votes.
I'd say flan.
Okay.
There you
I'll
go.
get that in a minute then.
Ooh. It's the map. It's the map.
Okay, so what do we have for initiatives?
18.
All right. Anybody over 18? I mean, we all are, but over 18 in initiative? Who's the next highest? What do we got? Anybody 15 to 20? Anybody 10 to 15?
Sorry, I've got 16.
16. Okay, cool. 1 second here.
You got 11. What?
Okay. 16 for Crom. Anybody who got 11?
Chomp.
Chomp got 11.
Yeah,
Right.
Chomp got an 11. Sirthus got a 14.
Sirthus got 14. Okay.
Quintus got
And
a 10.
I got a 6.
Sirthus got a 10, you said?
No, Sirthus got a 14. Quintus got a 10.
Quintus got a 10. All right, there it is.
And our rogue got a 6.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Because I rolled a 2.
There you go.
Oh. One day.
I mean, that happens. All right. Okay, so starting out, as these two smaller wing shapes kind of rocket up at you, one of them landing right on a boulder kind of closer up to you, but not quite on the top of the big boulder, the other down below. You hear the screech from the back, Shay, as you're aware that this much larger wyvern has landed. You are up first. What are you doing?
I wonder what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna run up
something?
and stunning strike it.
Which one are you striking?
A tiny one.
One of the little guys. All right.
One of the little guys that's close to me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, you can move just a little bit over, and you can reach him from there. Go ahead and strike.
Great. I think that's an 18. Yeah,
18 to hit.
18 to hit.
All right, that does hit.
Awesome. And yeah, stunning striking as well.
Okay, what's the DC on that?
Getting there.
I think it's 15.
Yeah, I think so. It's just I have to find it.
It's a con save, right?
Yes.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, they do not save.
Yeah, DC 14.
Oh.
It does not save. And so as you hit it like right in the face, it does it kind of is kind of taken back, and it is stunned.
And then I believe I just did. Yeah.
What's the damage?
8 to damage.
8 to damage. All right.
And then I attack it again
Go for it.
at advantage.
Yeah, this is true.
Well, I got the same number, so
That'll do it.
yeah, so 16, 24.
24. Okay.
I think that hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And
and
then
what's
9
damage?
to damage.
And 9 for damage. All right. As it leaps up in front of you, you immediately just pop it right under the chin.
I'm like, oh god!
It's
Smack.
kind of dazed, and as it's trying to balance itself on its front claw wings, it's kind of you hit it upside the head one more time. Yeah, it's a good first one. Yeah,
It just surprised me, okay?
it's
I
a
was like,
baby.
oh god! Smack it. Mhm.
For the purposes of this, I'm not going to have you necessarily worried about the tigers. Both of them ran behind rocks, we're going to say.
Oh,
Good.
okay.
I was literally going to spend my action trying to get them to do that.
It's just, for now, you know,
I mean, they'd probably run from this.
we're going to pull a little bit of a sprinkles. It'll be okay.
I mean,
Yeah, a little. I mean, they're not as traumatized. But
yeah, I mean, just if you kill the tigers, just know you're a monster. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. Or the bunny.
I'm
Kill the
saying
tiger or the bunny.
if you don't take care of them, you're the monster.
I will take all the care of them. It's fine.
In any case, it is now the big guy's turn. As the screeching wyvern lands in front of you, Roland, you are in the back of the group, so it is right in front of you. It takes a bite at you,
All right.
and that is I'm going to use a different die.
Thank you.
But that first one is a 9 to hit,
It didn't hit.
and as it's biting at you, its tail comes around, swings around, and goes to hit you as well, and that is a 21 to hit.
That hit. And I'm going to use my uncanny dodge too when he attacks me.
You're using the uncanny dodge?
Yeah.
Okay. right. What is? I always forget exactly what Uncanny Dodge does.
It just halves the damage.
That's right, it has damage. Okay, so in that case, let me find it again. There we go. So that is 12 piercing damage, and could you please make a Constitution saving throw?
Oh dear. A 4.
Okay, so
My dice just got up and left.
you do fail that save, which is good for me to know, and you also take 21 poison damage. That's the total. You still
Okay.
take half, right?
Yeah.
However, you are paralyzed.
Okay. What is half of 21? 10.5, so 10.
We'll call it 10, yeah. Oh, one sec. All right. So as its stinger, as you dodge out of the way, a bit, and you don't take quite the full force of it, some of the poison does get into your system, and you suddenly feel your muscles just tense up, and you find yourself unable to move. Crom, you are up. You are on top of the big rock with Shay.
Okay, did Shay jump down and hit the thing?
No, because it had flown up as
Oh.
you're starting the initiative. It's right
Okay.
in front of. It's kind of right in front of you, within range.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right. So yeah, I'd like to use my bonus action, go into rage. I got that that super adrenaline from trying to protect my baby rabbit thing.
Yes.
So I'm gonna rage out and hit it with the thing.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
Make your attack. It is. You get advantage because it is stunned. So.
Yes.
Okay. So I also want a frenzy. Yep. Oh, sorry, reckless attack. So reckless attack, I was going to use advantage, but I guess.
Well, you don't need to reckless. Have it.
Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah,
I
because you already have
Gotcha.
advantage. Yeah.
All right. All right. Cool.
All
I
right.
already rolled that. So 7. I did. Yeah. But then plus 8. 17 plus 8.
17 plus 8.
25.
25. 25. And
All right, that'll hit. Yeah.
14.
14 damage.
Yes.
All right, and your second hit?
Do I still have advantage? Yeah, I still have advantage.
Yeah, still do.
17.
17. That will also hit.
$14 again. Okay.
All right. Cool. So coming across, slashing across twice, trying to defend your new bunny friend. This thing, I mean, it's kind of swaying on its feet still, so it's not too hard to hit, luckily. And you're carving it up a good deal. Yeah. One might almost say you were halfway to killing it.
The poor bloody thing.
Poor bloody thing. Cirthus, you are up next. And then Chomp, you're up after that.
I'm gonna cast False Life on myself.
Ooh. Okay.
Let's see here. 17. whatever. Temporary hit points.
Yeah, you get temporary hit points. Okay. 17 temporary hit points. Anything else you want to move at all?
Probably activate my belt, and that's it.
Okay. Activate the belt. All right.
Wait.
Yep.
I'm near people, right?
You are near people. You're kind of.
I would definitely hide behind a rock away from people. So.
Well, you are in a kind of a constricted space here. You're the one closest on the side of the big wyvern, closest to the river. So,
Place to be.
yeah, it's not a terrible place to be. You are not currently the object of its affections.
Okay. Yep.
But all right, Chomp, you're up. Quintus, you're next.
Let's see. I'm going to. I'm gonna try to blind the wyvern with blindness, deafness spell.
Okay.
That's a con save of 16.
Con save. All right, let me see what the con save. That is a 21.
Yep, that's okay. Nothing happens.
As you go to cast it, it's angry and it looks like kind of hungry, and it kind of just shakes the spell off as it doesn't take hold. Anything else?
Nope.
Polymorph into a rock.
No.
Nothing. Okay. In that case, Quintus, you are up. Roland, you're next.
All right. As the tigers run off, hiding behind the rock, I'm guessing just the one down below Quintus would be the most natural, little alcove. Say, yes, hide, little ones, and then move to the space next to Roland. That's within striking distance of the wyvern.
Okay. Yeah. Next to him. Yeah.
Yeah, just because I feel like that'll block off. I mean, it can fly, but I'll get its attention. So I just want to be within 5 feet of it, is kind of the point.
That's within 5 feet. Yeah.
All right, then I will say, all right, you overgrown lizard, let's go. And I will tap Roland on the back and cast Lesser Restoration.
Oh. And that gets rid of the paralysis, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Kill it, please.
I will try.
That's simple. All right.
Just in one good hit. That's all we did.
All right. You are no longer paralyzed. As it, Roland, you feel the poison kind of suddenly drain out of you, and your muscles unknot, and you're able to move again. And it is currently your turn then.
Okay, would it cost me an action to put my serpent venom on my blade? Would that be my whole turn, or can I do that and then hit the wyvern with it?
That's a good question.
Some poisons are bonus actions, but some of them are also actions, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have it on here on my notes.
You only get the one attack anyways, so yeah.
I know, I'm going to use my lethal poison that I've been saving.
I would say it would be an action to do that, yeah.
Okay.
It would take an action.
So instead, I'll just use a blazing longbow.
Okay.
And fire that at him. And let's see. That would be a 18 to hit.
18 to hit, you said?
Uh-huh.
18 just hits.
Oh, good. And since Quintus is still around him, I get my sneak attack. So that's going to be 14, 15, 16. Hang on just a second. 20 to damage.
20 damage. All right.
Yeah.
Let me see something here.
And then can I use my bonus action and take a cunning action to disengage?
You're gonna. That's a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay.
And you're gonna run?
I'm gonna back up.
Yeah.
How far you want to back up?
15 feet.
You can do about 10 without getting into the rocks.
Oh, okay, I'll go 10.
Okay.
Let's go, big lizard. I got poison resistance. I'm a dwarf.
All right. As this is happening over there, and you're able to release the arrow into it, striking it and backing up in its moment of confusion, the second small wyvern, the little baby guy, jumps, coasts up to right next to Shay here, and takes a bite at you, Shay. And that is a 7 to hit on the bite. That does not hit, does it?
Oh God, no.
And then it also comes around with its little stinger. And that is a 13 to hit.
Nope.
All right. So it comes at you and it snaps at you, but being a younger animal, it's not quite as good as its big mama over there, and misses you entirely. And it is now your turn, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. I'ma punch it.
Sounds like a plan.
Actually, I'm gonna punch the one that is currently down.
Yeah, the stunned one?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
$17.
17 will hit.
Holy crap. Okay. And I got a 9 to hit. 9 to damage.
9 on the second one?
9 for
I was
damage.
gonna say that's because you still have advantage, right?
Yeah, I still have advantage.
Yeah, because it's still stunned until the end of your turn, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, that was a 9 to damage.
Okay, 9 to damage. Cool.
And then so 19, I'm gonna throw a stunning strike onto that.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. And rolling damage for that one. 7 for damage.
7, and that was a 19 for a con save.
Oh, made it.
Fuck.
It made it this time, but you did get into some good hits.
Well, she's got one more attack.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I thought there was a second hit.
With
Oh,
martial arts, you get a free bonus
that's right.
action
You get a
pop.
free bonus action.
And then yeah, I'm gonna free bonus action pop it.
Go for it.
Because no.
Stay down.
Just stop. Yeah, I just rolled a 17. I know I'm gonna hit it.
That'll hit.
I know. Oh.
You're good.
And I just rolled max damage. So that's 11.
And 11. All right. As you're not able to stun it, you come across one more time. you kind of jerk its head back. It's hissing at you the entire time as it's not very happy. But that's your turn. Now it is the big guy's turn.
Big.
And Quintus, it's good. You're right in front of it.
Yes, that is where I am.
And looking at you, it kind of comes down, its head just kind of curving down and around, and it bites at you. And that is a 14 to hit.
Nope. Shield.
And it tries to sting at you at the same time, and that is a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, so that is 14 piercing damage.
Cool.
And could you make a Constitution saving throw?
Alright, I get advantage because I'm a dwarf. Well, that's good that I got advantage because the first one was a 2. The second one was a 15 plus 2, 17.
Ooh, you just failed.
Oh, wow. It's
Um,
Jesus.
yeah, this is not your regular wyvern. So you take 27 points of damage. It's 27 poison damage,
Half down to 13.
and you are paralyzed.
Cool.
As you were distracted by the first bite out it did, and it snuck up with its tail and managed to get you.
I don't know.
But Crom, you are up. What? Sorry.
No, nothing. I was just thinking, like, only Crom can, like, reliably make that save. But it's the big boy, and there's only one, so, yeah. Oof. I'm glad it was me. Glad it was me.
Saving throw is really high.
Yeah. Crom, you are up, and Sirthis, you're after that.
I'm gonna go after the stunned one.
Okay. Well, is it stunned anymore?
No.
No?
No,
No.
it did. It unstunned.
Oh.
It didn't take the thing off.
That one
My
is
fault.
hella injured, but...
Okay.
It's very injured, but its stun wore off.
So now you could Reckless if you want to just...
Okay. So yeah, I'll reckless
Okay.
and 25 to hit
Yeah, I'll hit.
and woo, yeah. 12, 34, 17, 19 damage.
19 damage.
Yes.
Okay.
I got max damage on that one. Finally. Oh yeah, I could re-roll if I need to next time. Okay. Okay, and then my bonus action. I mean
Yeah,
my second attack.
Yeah.
21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Wait, I'm gonna re-roll that. Six, 17. Sorry.
17 damage?
Yeah.
All right. As you come across with these two, one kind of sinks into the kind of shoulder area of the wing, and as you jerk it out, blood goes everywhere, and you come across and hit it right in the side of the head, and it goes, actually penetrates in to like part of the way into the eye, and as you take out your sword once more, it kind of flops over and down the surface of the boulders down back onto the main ground. You took it out. It's very dead.
Cool. Do the tigers eat those things? It can eat those meat, right?
I mean, tigers eat meat.
Yeah.
You don't know if they can eat wyvern meat.
So that was my extra attack, and
yeah,
if I frenzy, I get a bonus. I can use a bonus action to make a single melee weapon attack.
That sounds right.
Okay.
So are you gonna go after the?
Yeah.
You're close enough. Yeah, you could go after the other one. Yeah.
23 to hit.
23 to hit hits.
No, I already re-rolled. You can only do that once. 10.
10 damage. Okay. So you rush around once more and start going after this other one over here. At the same time, Cirthus, it is your turn.
I cannot wait for them to like just jump off the top ropes after they're done up there and go for the big one.
Well,
Eldritch Blast. The weakest one.
you were going after the weakest one?
Yeah.
Up at the top there?
And a 4. So I missed with both.
Oh, gosh. Come on, Eldritch Blast. Wait, what was the first one?
1.
I mean, yeah, they neither. Yeah, I didn't even hear. Okay. I'm sorry. Oh, Eldritch Blast. Okay, as you're going after it, it's up the slope, so your aim's a little bit off. Shay and Crom, these two blasts of arcane energy kind of fly past your heads and blast into the side of the cliff above.
And you hear expletives from Shay's mouth.
Yes. And Chomp, you are up.
Right.
Quintus, you're next, I guess.
I mean,
Well, after being very disappointed last time, I am going to. I'm going to cast Storm Sphere,
well,
which it's a 20-foot radius sphere, so I guess I will cast it in a location that will place the wyvern inside of the sphere, but not the rest of us.
Yeah, you could, if you go about 10 feet behind the wyvern, you'd probably be okay.
you can also cast it like up since it's a sphere and it's a wyvern.
Cast
That's
down.
true.
Yeah, I'll cast it a bit over its head.
Okay. Catch its head in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And that is
so
strength saving throw.
there will be a strength saving throw of, I guess, 16.
Okay. Let's see. And that's 14.
Yay!
All right. They failed it.
So this time they're going to take 8 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. 8 bludgeoning damage.
I'm also going to use my bonus action to cause the bolt of lightning to strike it from the sphere.
Okay, cool. Make your ranged spell attack. And you have advantage, so.
27 to hit.
Damn.
Oh, that'll hit, yeah. That's 4d6, right?
And 40.
That's fun.
Just hear Quintus saying, "That's really cool."
I can't move my jaw, but that's really cool.
I'm also gonna alchemically cast. I'm gonna burn a 2nd level spell slot to increase the damage.
Oh, okay.
Might as well.
I think that's what does that do? Yeah, 2nd level spell slot, so an extra 2d10 force damage.
Wow.
25 damage total.
Woohoo!
25 damage. Okay, that's a lot of damage.
On top of the 8 you dealt at first. Oof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Okay.
what are you gonna do?
And I just say, haha.
Haha. As you all watch, this whirling of air and like dust and sand appears above, and like little bits of cloud tufts in it, and lightning strikes out at the wyvern as it cries out, and really seems to take a lot of damage. So yeah, Quintus, you are up and you are paralyzed. So there's
Very
that.
cool. Is there like a save at the end of my turn, or is it?
I think there is. That's what I was just looking for. Yes, at the end of your turn, you can go for a save.
And since this is poison induced, do I still have advantage?
Did you have advantage on the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah, then you would. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But it is poison.
Oh, 18 plus 2, 20.
All right. As you're watching all this, maybe it's the wind, just getting you going, or maybe the lightning striking so close. But you shake off the poison and your muscles start to move again. But that is the end of your turn. Roland, you're up.
All right, I'm going to use my movement to get forward next to Quintus again.
Okay.
And I want to take my rapier and strike for the bird's neck. I mean, for the wyvern's neck.
Okay.
So that would be a natural 20.
That
Plus-
will hit.
Oh,
Cool. Awesome.
So
roll the dice, all the dice.
I know, because we're
So
right
you
there.
get
We
to-
get sneak attack.
So double your damage, your regular damage dice.
Okay. All right. 14, 16, 19, 23, 27.
27 damage, one hit. All right. You're able to, you carve into it, and some of the rock-like scales on the outside actually shear off, and you see blood underneath.
Everyone's so cool today.
Everyone's so cool. I'm so proud of you guys. I just wish I could kill someone. Gosh. All right, and that's your turn, right? Let's get paralyzed on this. So it is now the baby wyvern's turn, and it's once again gonna be trying to hit at Shay. Well, first at Shay with its tail, and that is
Vicious.
a 24 to hit.
Yeah, it hits me.
Okay. So you take... These guys don't hit quite as hard.
Thank
But
God.
you take 13 piercing damage. And could you make a Constitution saving throw?
I mean, that hurt my soul a little.
You'll be fine.
So, Constitution saving throw?
Yeah, con save.
Hey, guess what?
What's that?
That one.
All right, so you take 11 poison damage, and you are paralyzed.
Ishay, this is how most of the monsters feel after your turn.
I'm so used to making them stun that I put it on him instead of you. This is how the DM feels. So yeah, as once again you feel just like the others, you feel this poison coursing through into your veins, and your muscles start to lock up. And this is very strange for you. You're not used to not being able to use your body.
Again, string of expletives.
Through a lockjaw.
Yeah, just.
And then with its bite, it also goes after you
Of course.
at advantage.
Yeah.
And that is a 16 to hit.
That meets.
So it beats. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is. That's right. That is 14 piercing damage.
Oh.
Okay. Who is up next? I forget who's up next. Shay, you are up next.
Well,
you are paralyzed,
know.
so you get to roll right away for another con save for the end of your turn here.
Who? Yay. Con save. I don't think that's gonna beat it. 14.
14 meets.
Holy shit.
These are the littler guys. They're not quite as potent as the big guy. So as soon as you feel it off, you just like, no, I'm not gonna, and you force your muscles to start moving again and for your metabolism to take care of the poison.
I am the one who stuns.
Yeah, I'm the one who stuns, and I have a tiger to take care of. A scared little girl tiger. No.
And Crom, you are up.
She needs a strong, independent mama. Who don't take no stun.
All right. Crom, you are up, and you have the baby wyvern right in front of you.
Okay, I'm gonna attack recklessly and frenzy later on. Okay, yep. So 26 to hit.
Yeah, I'll hit.
14 damage.
Okay. Second one.
Hmm. 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
2, 7, 8, 9 damage. And then my
Okay.
frenzy.
Yeah,
17 to hit.
17. Yeah, that'll hit.
11.
For 11 damage. All right, just once again, just wham, wham, wham. You're just
Yeah.
carving this thing up. So I'm just trying to do maths real quick. Okay. And then it was Sirthis' turn. Are we Eldritch Blasting?
We are. One is definitely a miss. Let's see.
Okay.
The other one is 21.
And which one are you going after this time? The little guy or the big guy?
The one that seems the bloodiest.
That's a good question. Let me see here. I mean, the little guy is probably bloodier right now. Yeah. All right, so that'll hit. Roll for damage.
1 point.
1 point?
Yeah.
Damn.
How is that possible?
So you don't have agonizing blast, huh?
Nope.
Okay, yeah. It's just wait. Actually, you should be rolling. We're level 8. You should be rolling 2d10s for damage. Or no, wait. It's Eldritch Blast is the different one. It fires multiple beams. So damn.
Yeah, I missed once, hit once, and then really low on the damage.
That's rough.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you still hit.
Yeah, damage is damage.
Damage is damage. As it goes in, it kind of glances off. It kind of sears a little bit of the neck. Just mostly it made it a little more angry. Chomp, you are up. Quintus, you're up after that.
Ooh, I get a turn.
Okay. Also, if the wyvern didn't move, if it ends its turn inside the sphere, it's got to do another strength saving throw.
Okay. I
Um,
did not know that. Okay, so I can do that strength saving throw real quick. And that is a... What's the DC on it?
16.
Okay, that's 12. Okay.
So it takes another 10 bludgeoning from that.
Okay.
And then for my turn, for my action, I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb at 3rd level,
Okay.
which is a 20 to hit.
20 will hit. Yeah.
And I guess I will choose what can I do? I guess I'll choose lightning damage for
Okay.
that. And that's gonna be how much? Oh wait, Chromatic Orb is D8s, right? Yeah.
Mm.
25 lightning damage.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, cool.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going
The other lightning
to
damage.
as a bonus action, I'm gonna do the lightning strike from the storm sphere again.
Nice.
.23 to hit,
That'll hit.
which is 4. Uh, 12 more lightning damage.
All right. As these lightning flashes come out from all around and the wind is still just battering it. Yeah, it's looking pretty. It's fairly hurt. And at this point, it's starting to it's kind of just looking around and a little bit confused. But Quintus, you're up.
All right. I will. Yeah, I'll just 4th level spiritual weapon. Like it pops up basically like behind it, trying to stab it in the back.
Okay.
The bleeding scalpel. And let me roll dice. Ooh, yeah, pretty. Well, is that a miss? Let me see. I rolled an 11 plus 8. 19.
19 will hit.
Thank God. All right, that's 2d8 plus 5 radiant damage. Wow, rolled really a 7 and an 8. That's 20 radiant damage.
Oh wow! All right, 20 radiant damage. I need to do math again.
And then I will follow that up with pulling a small bell off of out of my pack and giving it a jingle as it intones. I cast Toll the Dead, so it needs a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah, because it's got real high wisdom, you know. Well, actually, that's an 18 wisdom save.
Yeah, that it was a 16, so no damage.
Okay. All right. Okay, Roland, you are up once again.
Cut.
Yeah, I'm going to stay there with my rapier and go for his neck again. So that's... Oh, I did not hit. That would be a 10 to hit.
That does not hit. Is that your turn, or do you have? I feel like you have other things. Let me
You could try and take a bonus action swing with a dagger. You just don't get your dexterity added to the damage, but you can still possibly get sneak attack. Unless you have twin weapon, or what is the dual fighting style?
Yeah, there's a couple of things like that. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, but then you just don't get the plus to damage.
Yeah, so you could make an attack. Yeah, you just wouldn't add your damage modifier. It would just be straight.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than nothing, unless you're moving.
Yeah.
You could roll another nat 20. Who knows?
So it's up to you, Roland.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh, no, I did it. I got a 17, so I don't think I...
No, 17 does not hit. It just misses, actually. Like, just misses.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. In that case,
Very nice.
who is up? Oh, it's the little baby one, and it's once again, it's angry and it's hurt and it's just striking out at you, Shay. Just cuz. So its first bite goes for a 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right. This is the bite, so. And that's 15 piercing damage.
Ooh. Awesome.
And then the stinger goes out to hit you, and that's a nat 1. Okay.
Woo!
So it just kind of totally whiffs it just past your head. Does not hit you. And that is its turn.
I'm in the danger zone.
And it's now your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch the shit out of it.
Do it.
You don't say.
Lucky. Alrighty, so I think that was 18. Yeah. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Um. 6 damage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll again.
Yeah. 16. 24.
That'll hit.
And that is 11 damage.
11 damage. All right.
Yes. And I'm gonna fucking hit it again.
Do it.
Because I'm angry. Yeah. 18
That'll hit.
and 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. It's as you once again just like haymakers, just totally wailing on it. It's looking pretty hurt.
Like, bitch, you thought.
Exactly. All right. Now being the wyvern's turn, it starts to fly up into the air. And in fact, just starts screeching and starts just to fly off as high as it can get. It goes 80 feet into the air. Straight up. As it's screeching at you, and it seems like at its offspring down there. Those of you, Roland and Quintus, you get a attack of opportunity on it.
All right.
I mean, I've just been casting with my holy symbol, so I don't even have a weapon out.
You just swing at it.
Sure. Unarmed strike.
You're just like, bad dragon.
I think I just missed. I got a 17.
17 just misses. Yep.
So yeah, I just like slap its scales with a 9. Like, hey, where you going?
as it's trying to fly away. And then Crom, you are up with the little wyvern right in front of you.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it. Hopefully, reckless.
Okay, go for it.
All right, so 25
That'll hit.
and 16 damage.
16 damage as you come across. Like, you split its head off of its neck. And it goes down. The second one in a row for you. And yeah, it is very down. The other one has flown 80 feet into the air.
Yeah, I can't do much about that, you guys.
Okay. Sirthus, you want to try to do anything? You are up next.
Would it be like, did it fly straight up through the storm orb?
Yes.
Because it is difficult terrain.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it would only be, let me see, because it would be, and it's 20 feet, right?
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius.
So, and it had been, so it was just barely in the orb, so it would have to go through 20 feet of it, which would count as 40 feet, so it's only 60 feet up.
Oh, perfect. Let's see. Mind Spike.
Okay.
Wisdom save for half.
Oh, hell yeah.
And wisdom save, that is a 9.
9.
All right.
Tell me the damage.
14 damage, and it can't hide. I know where its location is for an hour, in case it's.
All right. I mean, as it cries out once again, this time in pain, as you hit it with the Mind Spike just after its baby is killed, second baby is killed in front of it. Yeah, Chomp, you're up.
All right.
He just wanted a meal.
It's still within 60 feet of the spear.
It is.
Yeah, and also with the spell sniper feat.
Oh god.
So like if I roll a attack roll, it doubles the range. So I think that would be for the lightning bolt from there. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's with the range.
Yeah. So I'm gonna blast another chromatic orb. And that's a 17 to hit.
17 misses.
All right. So for my bonus action, I'm going to go with the storm sphere. $24 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
And then
Quintus, you're up next.
Cool.
Did you good?
No. That's 6 lightning damage.
6 lightning damage.
That's a lot of ones.
A lot of ones. All right. As one last bolt goes out, it hits it a bit, piercing the wing a little bit, but it's still, as it flew through the storm sphere and now is beyond it. It's trying to. It looks like it's trying to get away. And Quintus, you're up.
I was trying to see, do I have anything that could hit within 60 feet?
I mean, we got an archer. She's got a bow, right?
Yeah. Alright, I guess.
I mean, Ray of Enfeeblement would do it, I guess.
Yeah, I was looking at that. Like Ray of Enfeeblement, Ray of Sickness. I was hoping it was still within blight range, but unfortunately not. I think just
Crown of Madness?
No, it has to be humanoid.
No, yeah, it has to be humanoid. Yeah.
And all right, I'll just do a ray of sickness at 4th level because fuck this thing.
Okay.
It's Constitution saving throw, DC 16. As a sickening greenish energy lashes out towards the creature.
Sickening green. You said it was con?
Yeah.
It's 18.
All right, it's saved, so it only takes half. Of
But you're rolling a lot of d8s there, right?
yeah, it's 5d8. It's
Okay.
It's not like I said. Blight would have been a bit more impressive at this point.
Yeah.
All right, 5d8. That's okay. So 23 halved down to 11. So it takes 11 poison damage, which it's probably resistant to.
11 poison it is, yes.
So down to 5. But that's what I got. And I'll move the spiritual weapon 20 feet towards it, but that's as far as I can go.
Okay. All right. As this sickening green energy goes out towards it, it definitely cries out one more time. And Roland, you're up.
I mean, that hurt.
Okay, I'm gonna take my blazing longbow and
Okay.
shoot it for it. Natural 20.
Okay.
So that makes
So
No,
roll
27.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah,
That'll hit.
and-
So roll damage and double your regular damage dice.
okay.
It is no sneak attack this time, though.
Yeah, I know. That's good. I get to double damage it because it's a 2. Oh no! Hang on. 6 damage.
6 damage.
What?
Yeah. I didn't roll well on my dice.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
Let me see something here.
The blazing longbow only does 1d8. There's no like extra fire on it or anything.
Well, it has fire damage on it too.
Yeah, it does a D10, and I rolled a 1.
Oh, it
Oh,
just
yeah.
It's a
Yeah, that
D8
is my
plus
D10.
4, and then the D10 on top of that.
Oh, hold it. Well, let me re-roll that.
Yeah.
D8 plus 4 plus the 10 on top of it.
So the D8, you're gonna double that.
Okay, so that's 4, 7, and 11 damage.
All right, and is that with the D10?
Yeah.
nice.
Okay, so that's all together. Okay, cool. That is better. As it streaks up, it's barely holding itself aloft at this point. It's like almost anything could bring it down. Shay, you're up.
You're muted, dear.
So, like, almost anything. Well, are there any shadows perchance near it?
Not especially. Like, this is afternoonish. Like, you are in a canyon, so it's not direct sunlight or anything. Like, there might be some. Here, just make a quick perception check.
You got it. Mm, 16.
16. Okay. So, you see up somewhere in the vicinity anyway, because these are like, it's a fairly steep cliff canyon walls around here, and the sun is not in it, so there is some shadowy areas. You do see kind of a cleft where there is some shadow. Now, there's no purchase there, so if you went to it, you would be immediately, like, you would be on the wall for a second and then immediately falling.
That's fine.
You can go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to shadow step into that area.
Okay.
And then that means I'll have advantage on my first melee attack.
Okay, so as you shadow step up, you're still maybe 10 feet out from it. You could push off the wall and jump at it if you wanted to.
But of course.
Okay, so jumping off the wall at this wyvern 60 feet up in the air, make your attack.
21.
That'll hit. What's the damage?
Eight damage.
Ooh. So as you kind of like push off of the cliff, like Superman style, as you're coming through and you punch it in the head as you come by, it falters, but it's still in the air. And at this point, you're almost further, you're just a second later, just a little bit further past it. Are you going to try that second hit?
No, that is exactly what I'm going to do.
Okay. Quick before you fly past.
Yep.
I know, right?
Stunning strike that thing.
Well, yeah, I'm going to stunning strike it, because I just rolled an 18.
Ooh.
I mean, so if you roll more than 2 damage, it's dead.
Okay, never mind.
Just saying, you don't have to spend the key point.
Okay. Well, I just rolled a 6.
That'll kill it.
Yeah.
And as you're almost out of range, you rotate in the air, and with your right hand, you manage to clip it one more time. And as it does, it goes unconscious, falling to the ground directly in front of Roland and Quintus. As you hear a crack as its neck snaps as it hits the ground.
And I know I'm falling.
Yes.
Straight up falling now. Can I use slow fall?
What is slow fall?
So as
bonus
my
action?
reaction. Yeah.
Oh, it's as a reaction.
So as a reaction. As a reaction when you fall.
Because you're falling. Yeah, because it's not an action. It's not a bonus action, but you're falling.
Yeah.
And it's a reaction.
So I reduce any falling damage I take by 40.
Okay, you're 60 feet up. I gotta remember. What is it? 1d6 for 10 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I don't think I'm gonna.
Yeah, you'd have to roll.
I can't.
Really
I have
well.
to. I can't. Like I can only roll. The highest I can roll is 36.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, as you fall back down, you come.
I gracefully land.
You roll.
I
Roll
don't
a
think
d. Roll your d20 real quick.
Yeah, you
Tell
got
me
it.
the number.
You got it. 10.
10. Oh gosh. Okay. So as you land, it's on a rock right on the edge of the raging river. As you kind of like on one foot, like, and you manage not to fall in.
Oh my god. Oh, thank god.
And that's where we're gonna end for today, because it is 5:20 something, and that's about all I had anyway. So, okay, that was fun. That was some real cool stuff today, guys. I like the song sphere, especially. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was.
Good job, everybody.
That was
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Everyone.
And as a reward for lots of good RP the last few sessions, and also a real fun times, you were all level 9.
Yay!
Oh shoot!
Awesome.
Level 9, who dis?
All right, so yeah, make sure you level up, get all whatever your new stuff is and everything, get new hit points, and also remember to name your animals.
Yes.
I kind of feel like I'm teaching a preschool class.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it be that way.
Remember to name your animals.
I'll remember.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Later,
That was fun
guys.
times.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, adios.